Welcome back team. Today we will discuss what is the difference between risk appetite, risk tolerance, risk acceptable risk and risk residual. This question is very frequently asked in interview and this topic is very confusable from the candidate's point of view. So I thought I should cover with an example here. So let's start with the risk appetite part. Okay, risk appetite is the risk the particular risk, I would say, the risk an organization willing to take. Okay, uh, after completing all these definitions, right, I will explain with an example also. So first let me complete the definitions part. Okay, the risk an organization willing to take. Okay, example we will see later. Next is the risk tolerance. Okay, risk tolerance is, okay, any deviations in risk appetite is the risk tolerance part. Okay, what is acceptable risk then? Okay, acceptable risk means, okay, uh, an organization willing to take the risk after implementing the controls. Okay, in this phase the impact of the risk may be low and minor, etc. Okay, okay, the impact would be low and minor, right? So this is called the risk acceptable risk. Next is the residual risk. Residual risk means after implementing the controls, right, risk left is called residual. Correct. Okay, I know guys, till here you have multiple questions in mind, right? Because this is without examples it is very difficult to understand. Okay, so let's cover with an example here. Okay, so starts with the risk appetite. An example, okay, there is a car, okay, and it's moving on a road. Okay, the quality is good. If the quality is good, that means the allowed speed is 60 km per hour, kmph. Okay, 60 km per hour means, as per the government law, right, 60 km per hour, 60 kmph is the risk appetite. Why? Because this is the acceptable risk, or this is the risk an organization is willing to take, because 60 km is a safer risk for anybody. Okay, so this risk is called the risk appetite, an organization willing to take. Okay, this is the first example. Let me add here as number 1. Okay, second is risk tolerance. Now assume a scenario, right, that okay, during this 60 km per hour, right, there is a way in between city 1 and 2, right, where the quality of road is excellent, and allowed speed is allowed speed is 80 km per hour. Means I just had added a scenario here. Okay, what is the scenario here? Okay, during this 60 km per hour, while you are traveling, right, so in between city 1 and 2, Okay, where quality of road is excellent and allowed speed is 80 kilometer per hour. So I just added a scenario here. So in this case, right, what would happen, right? Uh, okay, what is the difference between speed heads? 80 minus 60, that is 20. So 20 kmph is the risk tolerance. Means under a specific, right, means under a specific condition, under a specific scenario, organization can deviate the risk, to reduce the time or to achieve the goal objectives, is called the risk tolerance. So what is the deviation of risk here? 20 kilometer per hour. Why? Because quality of the road is good, and you can increase the speed of the car just to reduce the time or to achieve the goal objective. So any deviations in the risk appetite comes under the risk tolerances part. Okay, next is the acceptable risk. Acceptable risk means, right, example, there is a vulnerability. There is a vulnerability, and to reduce the vulnerabilities we applied a control. We applied a control, and and uh, and the impact reduces. Now what is the impact left? The impact left is low and minor. Low and minor means, guys, it's very easy to accept the risk of organization because the impact is low and minor, and there won't any loss of organizations reputations or in terms of financial or any risk. That is why this risk is called the acceptable risk. So if I can relate this acceptable risk with respect to risk appetite and risk tolerance, right? Acceptable risk, this is because risk appetite is also acceptable risk because this is much safer side. Risk tolerance is also a acceptable risk, but in a certain conditions. What is the certain conditions, guys? Between city 1 and 2, this is the conditions where acceptable risk we would take. Okay, next is the risk residual. Okay, risk residual means, after implementing the control, right, risk left called as residual. Okay, after implementing the control, assume that still risk is there, but we are not sure what is the impact of the risk. Maybe high, maybe low. This is called the risk residual. In interview, guys, there is one more interview questions. They may ask, okay, are appetite, risk appetite means, risk appetite is equal to risk tolerance or risk residual or acceptable risk? Always remember, answer is no. These risks are not same. Risk appetite, risk tolerance, risk residual or risk appetite are not same. The answer is no. What is the differences? I just had explained above. What is the difference between these two? These all. The answer is no. So risk appetite is not same as risk tolerance, is not equal to risk residual, is not equal to acceptable risk. Okay, if still you require any support to understand, right, let me know. Or just if you want to do a training sessions, right, on GRC, on ISO 27001, okay, on TPRM, on SOC 2, on NIST, on GDPR, on PCI DSS, okay, let me know in comments. Or you can also email me on rajveersinghAUG@gmail.com. Okay, this training will help you and and allowed you to facilitate one-on-one trainings, helps you to give the interviews tricks, interview sessions, demo interviews, and whatever are the facilities possible from my end, I will try to serve you. So guys, thank you so much. Have a nice day.